Today, we're going to make alcohol inks. Now, obviously, you can buy alcohol inks. They tend to be kind of expensive. So if nothing else, you can make some of them yourselves and then buy certain colors or, buy a few. Um, we have, oh, I got to do it here. We have empty containers to work with. We are going to use a Sharpie. And I also purchased yesterday big permanent markers. What I liked about them is, first off, there were 14 of them for $8, 7 something. They're also supposed to have good saturation of ink, and they had some really good colors. So we had teal, a lime green, nice hot pink. So I will be doing one of those also, just to show you. You can also make alcohol inks with different products, Crayola markers, but they're washable, so doesn't work really well. People have done them with food dye, which is okay, but they're not as intense, not as good saturation. So you can play around and try different things, but one of the best ways to do it is with a Sharpie or like the big markers. So first thing we're going to do, and you should have alcohol either like 91, 99%. If you have something lower, like a 70%, it'll probably work. It might just take longer to get the ink out of the little cotton cartridge thing that's inside. But then you just let it sit a little bit longer. First thing I'm going to do is put on gloves. Yesterday I got my hands all red because, I figured the alcohol would clean it off. The alcohol will clean off your scissors and things. It won't clean your hands as well.
Okay.
All right. And another thing that I did, I made a couple already, if you can see here. There's a green one. I have a purple one that I use the big markers. It still I figured instead of using a separate container, I would just throw the insides in here and only use one container. The issue is if I want to get that cotton stuff out, I have to try to pick it out of here or empty this to something else. So the best way to do it is to have a plastic cup, a glass, something that you can have the ink, put the ink in with the alcohol, and then once it's done, just pour that into your bottles. Okay, and I made a nice orange. This was a marker that was dried up. It's dried up, but if there's still ink inside, you can still get it out. Okay, so today we're using this one. First thing I'm going to do is measure out the alcohol that I'll need. This is 1 ounce. 1 ounce is a good size for a marker. If you have 2-ounce bottles and you fill it up with alcohol, you might have it a little more pastel-y color, a little more diluted. Okay, once I have it here, I'll pour it into this container. The hardest part of this is taking apart your markers.
Well, I just have a puddle of alcohol on my floor.
Oh, you can use a little funnel too.
I have one. It's okay.
You should be able to maybe pry this out. If not, this is where your pliers come in handy. For a Sharpie, just grab the front and the back and twist, or not. Once you twist it off, see this is where all your ink is, and it has a coating on it, a plastic sleeve. So you can slice it open with an X-Acto. I found that, first off, because I have a shallow container, I'm going to cut it in half. And then you can put it in like this, or you can just, oh, this one just opened up where it was glued. So you can just take the plastic off and drop it in. Now, if that plastic didn't come, this one happens to open up and come right off. If not, you can just cut it the long way. If you don't cut it, it might take a little longer, just shake your container. But if you just cut it in half, it just opens it up, drop it in. And you can also pull out your tip. That tip has some ink in it. And then just drop that in. This is where having gloves comes in real handy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can shake that up a little bit. Let that sit in the alcohol, I don't know, an hour. This is already pretty saturated. I mean, it was a new marker.
Now, I lost you somewhere because I can't get the dang thing. I can't get my marker broken. How did you?
Okay, just use,
I got a plier.
do you have a Sharpie? Is that
I
what
do.
you're using?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sharpie.
so grab the, whatever the color is, the top part with the pliers, grab the bottom with your hand,
Yes.
and then twist or go back, you know, side to side until it starts to loosen up.
Okay.
It's not the easiest thing, but
Right.
okay. I have a one of these little bottles with alcohol, so it's easy to just spray on your scissors, whatever.
Can you use empty alcohol ink bottles for this?
Sure.
If you can get the top off, I think, because I have a couple empties I've saved. I have a hard time. I can't get the little point off the top.
Oh, that I don't know. I guess with
I tried injecting ink into it with a syringe and needle, but it doesn't work because you have to, when you inject into it, you have to have a place for air to come out.
right.
And I guess my needle was maybe too thick. It was an
Would
old.
hot water help if you ran it under hot water?
Never. It's a good idea. Never tried it.
Or just you can't pry the tip off, then get
No.
online. Get online and do a search for how to take, you know, open up the bottle, and I'm sure that somebody will have something.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, if I waited long enough, now this is not going to work. It's got a lip. Yep, there you go. I should have a little funnel.
Yeah.
And then you can squeeze out, I'm going to pour this back in, leave it a little longer, but you can squeeze out, you know, your cotton insides just to get a little bit more whatever is in there. And you cap it and you put a label on it so that you know what it is. Put a piece of tape over it because with use, it'll just come off really quick. And that's it. Then you've made.
Voila.
Like I said, I'm pouring that back in to use it, to let it sit a little bit longer. And let's do one of these. Do the pink one. This took me a while to figure out how to open it. If you try taking out like the Sharpie, it just has this little rubber finger grip and it's a one-piece construction. There is nothing there to open up. So if you buy these, the back end, just Just grab it with the pliers, kind of squeeze it. You're gonna pretty much destroy the marker. Squeeze and keep trying to grab it. It's not easy at all.
Can I ask you a question, Maria?
Sure.
Can you use dried up markers
Yes.
with the ink? You
Yes.
can.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. We all throw those out.
I know.
Mm.
Now you can try to shoot, this is not coming out.
It knows you want to show it.
It was not easy when I did the other one yesterday. There we go. This is the little thing that fits in. Should come out, but there we go. Same idea. Oh, I didn't measure out first.
Oh man, I can't get that little thing out.
And same thing, I cleaned my scissors so I don't get blue on this. Cut it in half. This one doesn't really have plastic. It has a plasticky coating, but it's not the same as the Sharpie. The Sharpie came right off. Drop it right in.
So it actually isn't very liquid, is it?
In here, no.
Hmm. So it's more of a solid?
No, it's liquid, but it's not runny liquid. I mean, you can
Mhm.
see the scissors just from cutting it.
Yeah, right.
You could soak those scissors in that liquid too, couldn't you, Marie? Just to
Sure.
cover some of that instead of just,
Instead of just wiping it off. Yeah,
to save that extra bit.
a little tiny bit. Yes.
Yeah, whoever asked the question, I think it's probably like a sponge, a dense sponge
Yes.
that holds the liquid, and if you rub with it, of course, it comes off on paper.
It's kind of, it's not a sponge. It's like a cottony fiber
The
Uh-huh.
stuff
fiber.
you'll see when you take it apart. And there we go.
Hmm.
This one's going to take a little longer. You can see the blue is
Yeah,
on
very-
so
Yes,
very
it's
opaque.
getting
strong.
very dense.
And that's it. And then that is how you make alcohol ink.
Wow.
Any
That's
questions?
amazing.
It's pretty easy. It's very expensive. When you buy like an ounce of it, that's what this is. These
How
containers.
much are they?
I don't know, $5, $6, $7 each one.
Oh,
Oh, commercial.
I paid $7 and something, like I said, let's say $8 for the 14 markers.
right. You
And
have all those colors.
$2 for the alcohol, and it's got 16 ounces. So I can, for $10, I can make 14
Mhm.
colors, as opposed to paying, $5 each, which would be like $70.